Do you hear that noise? I sure do. Here, let's get closer and see if you can. You hear that? It's this sucker. This is an old FX5. It's a Fluval. Great canister filter. It's the what they used to have before they came out with the FX6. Same kind of thing though, basically. Anyway, we're gonna clean this sucker and see if we can get it to work better. Here we go. All right, so there's a lot of folks that hate, like absolutely hate canister filters. Like hate them. I don't mind them because I only clean them like twice a year. This has been going for, this canister filter 6-7 months. This is the first problem I've had with it. So if I only have to clean a filter twice a year, I don't mind if it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, like, because I don't have to do it that often. So who cares? But that's just me. A lot of folks hate them, and I get that. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna unplug it. Oh wow, that's a lot quieter, isn't it? And then we're gonna come over here. And one thing I like about Fluval is they make things easy. So all I have to do is go like that. And now I can disconnect these. Holy cow. Oh, that's gonna make for some great video. Okay, I take it back. Now I see why people hate these. I'm not quite sure why that happened. I guess there's some pressure in there, but whatever, it's a fish room. I don't mind the floor getting wet. But if this is your living room, now I get it. That being said, I've cleaned this, I've had this thing for, I don't know, 10 years. And this is the first time it's ever done that to me. So maybe I'm doing something wrong, I don't know. I probably should have drained it first, but I've never done that before either. Well, I'm pretty wet. Let's keep going. So, oh, that's funny. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, there we go. Now we're done. Yeah, there was just some pressure in there, I guess. And that's the beauty of a fish room with an epoxy floor, is if it gets wet, it doesn't matter. So this sucker's detached now. I'm going to take it over to the sink and give it a clean. Alright, so here we are. We've got the sucker over by the sink. I'm going to take the lid off and let's take a look inside. It's been 6-7 months. Let's see what we got going on in here. By the way, even though that water squirted out at me, it was like maybe 3 cups of water. It wasn't a ton, so eh. Alright, let's take a look. See what it looks like inside. Not too bad, really. Like, honestly, things don't, at least at the top here, don't look super clogged or anything. Let's pull out the entire insert here and see what we got going on. This looks really clean. Now, I do run like a massive pre-filter with a whole bunch of polyfill before it goes to this filter, so that kind of explains that. But honestly, this doesn't look bad at all. There's hardly any buildup in here. Okay, this is a little worse. So we've got some filter floss in there that's meant to collect debris, and it's definitely doing that. So that'll need to be changed. But these are just fine. Now the reason I use these is it's a pretty high surface area. These are like little bath scrubby pads that you can get at, I don't know, Walmart or whatever for like 99 cents. These are definitely not impacted with, you know, any kind of detritus or something to the point where they would stop working. They actually look like they're in pretty good shape. This stuff here, that polyfill, that'll need to go. I'll replace that. But it's doing its job, it's collecting particulates. So yeah, it doesn't appear that it was clogged up that way. I wonder why it's being so noisy. I mean, that being said, this is an old machine, so who knows? Anyway, I'm just gonna rinse it out. Whoa, that light's funky. Rinse some of the stuff out and put it back together, check the seals, all that, and see if we can get it to run quietly. So I'm gonna get into that. Right, so the filter's been cleaned out. It was super clean, so I don't think that's the problem. What I've done now is this sucker. This is the O-ring on this thing. And I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna put this on it. This is a basically silicone-based grease, plumber's grease, and that will keep this from getting cracked, help it keep it sealed, and all that in case, I mean, I looked at this and I don't see, look at it closer here, because I just looked at the top while it was still in there. I don't see anything on here that looks cracked or has holes or anything, but I'm gonna wash this just with water to get any, you know, little particles off of it. And then I'm gonna put this grease on it. Not real grease, not like plumber's grease, like silicone-based grease, and keep it pliable. So that's what we're working on now. Then I'm going to do the same thing with all these little rings, these little O-rings. I'm not going to take these off, but I'm going to wash these gently to get any particles off and put some grease on them, just so they stay kind of pliable and you don't want those cracking on you. They will eventually. I've had to replace those a few times, but the grease, plumber's grease, tends to like let them, I don't know, be pliable for quite a lot longer, not crack as easily. So I'm gonna get to that. All right, I found something that might have been a problem. The gasket that went right here, like this little rubber gasket, there was one here, or washer or whatever, and I cut it off because I'm going to put a new one on. I do not know if this is going to show on camera, but probably not. But it's got all these little micro cracks around it, so it was about to go. So I'm going to replace that. In fact, while I'm at it, I'm probably just going to replace all of them. I've got a whole bunch of replacement gaskets. I always keep these around. So I'm going to do that. These don't show that they're cracking, but I might as well put new ones on now. So and take a minute and get that done. Alright, I thought this might be interesting to show you how I do this. So these little Husky utility knives have a couple different blades. They have the standard utility knife blade. And if I get that in there and try to cut it, I'm going to mess this plastic up quite a bit. And over time that'll become a problem. But it's got this other kind of carpet ripping blade as well. And so if you just take this thing and you hook it underneath this gasket. Let me see if I can, I'm not used to doing this on camera. You hook it under the gasket like that, then you just pull, it cuts it right off. And you haven't been taking a blade and like scratched up this, or taking a screwdriver and tried to like get it out and scratch this up or anything like that. So these little suckers are a great tool for removing these kind of washers and gaskets from delicate places. Alright, so we're done. These are all greased up. Hopefully they look nice and shiny. That big gasket in there is all greased up and ready to go. This sucker's clean. It was really clean inside, so I don't think there was any clogging going on. I'm wondering if that one little gasket that was cracked was letting air in and creating that noise that we kept hearing. That could be it. Anyway, I'm going to put the whole thing together, let it run a bit, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully it runs nice and quiet now. Let's see. Alright, we're right down here with Mr. Fluval FX5. Here he is. And let's get real close. Do you hear that? You hear that? Me neither. Totally quiet now. So, looks like the problem was that that O-ring or two that was a little bit cracked was allowing some water, some air to get sucked in, and that was making all the noise. So now it's nice and quiet, and it's also running a little better, like there's a little more water flow going through the system. So anyone that's got a noisy Fluval out there, check those O-rings, put some, give them some love, a little bit of silicone plumber's grease Make sure it's silicone based, not, you know, the safe stuff. And worked for me. So there you have it. Hope that was useful. If you like this stuff, how many people are, let's be fair, how many people are gonna like a video like this? I don't know, I'm curious to see, but if you like this kind of stuff, please feel free to subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, share it, all that. We'll see how we do. I don't imagine this kind of video is for everyone, but for folks that do run canister filters, I thought it might be useful to sleuth why the filter was noisy and try to fix it with you. Anyway, have a good one. Until next time, bye-bye.